Hi everyone, I'm glad to see you again, and today we're looking at my DIY planner or planning notebook. This is something that I designed entirely for myself and just the way that I learned. I mentioned on Instagram and maybe even in some other videos that I have a diagnosis of adult ADHD, and I also was diagnosed with a reading disability, which basically means I have dyslexia. I've never let it stop me though, and I've always had it be like a little bit of a springboard for me to accomplish the things that I've done in my life. And I think I've done a pretty fair amount of things. But if you're interested in seeing how this planner that I've designed, the inserts, they're all custom designed just for me. And some of the things that I do to manage just the greater challenges of like my own kind of thought process and things, being someone who manages, and I feel like pretty well, ADHD and dyslexia sorts of things, then let's go ahead and watch the video so maybe you can get some inspiration or some ideas that even if you don't have some of the unique learning challenges that I've managed, these things that I'm going to show you, they could still be applicable to you. So let's go ahead and look at the video, and I hope you enjoy it. So here is my planner that I like to call the Smart and Lovely Planner, and I designed the cover that you see here, and this is an ARC bound or like an ARC or Circa style notebook. These are Martha Stewart brand from Staples discs, and this is the same idea as the Happy Planner if you're familiar with the Me and My Big Ideas brand and their line of planners that they came out with called the Happy Planner. So I really love fashion and art history and everything, and I love textures, and I love things that are kind of feminine but have a little bit of an edge to them. So that's kind of where the inspiration of this came from. I like the lace overlay that's trending right now, but I also love color kind of with it. So, and I wear glasses, so that's where that kind of came from. So, let's open this. So this I use as a little bit of a hybrid planner. I use it for work, and then I also use it for lesson planning and homeschooling. And these are inserts that I sell right now in my Etsy shop. And I like full color inserts. I just do. I can't help it. This could be a whiteboard just as much as it could be a like a dashboard or something. So let me just show you. These right here, these are whiteboard or dry erase markers, and these are the very best quality ones that I have ever found that work and are used. These I've used in some really big kind of presentations and things, kind of at the corporate level. Marketers use these. They're called Quartet, and they erase very, very cleanly, and then the tips, they never dry out. And you'll see, there we go, that's what they look like. And they come in a thinner tip as much as like a bolder tip, and they come in all colors. So this is my favorite brand of dry erase markers. And like I said, like this could be used as like a little bit of a portable whiteboard as much as it could be just a dashboard. So that's one part of this. It's the nice thing about having a laminate sort of a thing. I'm not going to show you actually what's here, just because some of these pages right here, I use them to do client notes and case management and project management stuff. And I'll show you kind of what I mean by that, or just the look of it. But here we go. I track things too. This is also great for goal setting, or even just keeping a running list of like some of the things that you've done. And I designed this. I also have designed this so that it has a cork back, or like a cork kind of background, and that's so that it looks a little bit more like a school sort of a thing. But this, I just think it's a really fresh design with the white background, and this is going to be available in my Etsy shop as an element that you can pick and choose, either for me to print and then send to you so that you have it just like in physical form, or so it's a printable so that you can, you know, print it at home. see here. What else do we have in here? I have graph pages here, and this is what they look like. And this is all from the printable teacher planner, as much as the printed and ready, or printed and then shipped, because I consider this to be like a custom order. And these are graph pages that are like a blue grid, and then they have a rainbow sort of a border that says something that I consider, I don't know, I think that everyone can be a lifelong learner, as much as everyone can be a teacher. A little bit inspiration from the movie Patch Adams with Robin Williams. Like, you know, everyone is a patient as much as everyone can be, like, I don't want to say like everybody can be a doctor, but we all can kind of help to heal one another. But the words around it say, I facilitate thinking, I engage minds, I listen to questions, I encourage risk, I support struggle, I cultivate dreams, I learn every day, I am a teacher. And then that same sort of thing just keeps going round and round. And so I think that that's kind of inspiring. And this is a downloadable, like, printable option, as much as, like I said, it's something that you can buy from me so that I print it for you, and then I send it to you. So there's some client notes. I can't show you that, but this is a little bit of a dashboard, or like a cover. And the great thing about the ARC notebook is that it can kind of flip on itself, just like what I just did. And this is a very popular quote, and I like this font, and then the pops of color on the lace overlay. And this is going to be something that is available. This is like an Erin Condren size or a Happy Planner size cover. So this is going to be an option that I can make this cover for you and then send it to you. Or you can print it at home and then do it yourself, DIY it. So I actually, for this right here, these are Post-it notes that I just cut in the shape of giant page flags, or like an arrow, or if you turn it this way, it looks like a house. And then these are just from Target. So that's that, and I just kind of adhered them to this dashboard, or the inside kind of cover divider. Then I also have, I did these, and this I use just for my business purposes, because I constantly have things coming and going. I will have people that contact me because they want to do something that I call bulk orders or custom orders, just because as you can see, I like to design things that are very, very detailed, and also have graphic elements that just kind of pull in and help to call in the idea of like themes. So like this is like the classic kind of airmail design, and I have it so that you can have it like without the border, that like airmail border, or with the border. I kind of like it with the border. I think it makes it a little bit more fun to kind of use. But I have both of these available as printed and then shipped items, as much as they are downloadable items for you to print and use in your own planner. So I kind of think of these as, these could be supplementary pages if you have an Erin Condren planner, or if you have a Happy Planner. And that's kind of my goal. Anytime I ever design something, I'm always trying to make it something that you can use with other things. Here's another, I guess, like a cover option. I've said in other videos and things that when I was little, I used to just fill notebooks upon notebooks with fashion designs. I really wanted to get into like apparel and accessory design, and I didn't end up doing that, so now I just style and design paper. But YSL is one of my very, very favorite designers of all time, and I think that this is a great quote. And so this is a little bit of like a cover, and there's some more sticky notes. Now here's what I really wanted to show you. There is a saying in the planner world where you're supposed to, I don't want to say designate, but you just kind of declare, like, are you team vertical or are you team horizontal? Meaning, your planner, is it something that is horizontal, like it goes left to right, or does it go up to down? I'm sorry, north to south. And the way that I think about planning is, well, I've done some studies, some like kind of classroom research and things, and looking at people's planners and asking them just kind of like what has helped them to be more productive, and found that depending upon if it goes left to right or top to bottom, or, you know, east to west, or north to south, that different layouts are actually more appropriate than other ones depending upon the task that you have at hand, or just the way that your time is laid out in any particular day. Now this layout over here, this is actually a left-sided page, and this is what the right-sided page would look like, okay? But you can use these just on their own. Like, I could use this for goal setting if I wanted to. I mean, really anything. But sometimes I like to just use like one side of a page. And this is how this double page spread actually works. When I think of vertical, I think of things that can be lifted and pulled off of a page. This is an insert, I guess you could call it, that just is a tablet planner that I got from TJ Maxx. And I really, really, really like this so much that I could probably design a different version of it so then it can just like go with this planner and be like another thing that you could get from my Etsy shop. But this is how I'm using it. I use washi tape to just strip the edge here, so then it's attached to that page. And the thing that I really love about doing planner pages like this, so that they kind of lift and flip off of a page, is that it allows you to have privacy and to cover off information, and then it also allows you to have something that's more interactive. Now, as it has to do with teaching and learning, there are different intelligences called multiple intelligences and learning modalities, meaning ways that someone learns. And most of the population is considered to be visual learners, meaning you learn by what you see. There's also auditory learners, there's kinesthetic learners, meaning individuals who learn better if there's movement involved. There's also tactile learners, meaning you kind of need to be able to pick things up and put things down and move things around in order for you to be able to process information a little bit more. Something that's really interesting that's happening right now in schools, because in the past decade or so, there's been a rise in childhood obesity, because they've cut out recess amongst other things. ADHD is becoming more and more prevalent, or just different sorts of attention deficit issues, is what they've started doing is bringing in stationary bicycles or elliptical trainers, so that students, if they would like to, they can actually read while they are going on the bike or while they're doing the elliptical trainer. And while that sounds a little bit crazy, what you might find is if you have challenges with reading, like I kind of do, I have actually diagnosed dyslexia. It has to do with reading fluency. And then I also have a diagnosis of ADHD. Some people would call them learning disabilities, and I simply call them learning differences. I've had challenges in school, but never so much that it has kept me from success. I mean, I've made it this far. I have worked for IKEA. I have worked for Johns Hopkins University. I have worked for FAO Schwartz. And I have also worked for, where else did I work? Oh, it doesn't even matter. Oh, I have my master's in education. So despite the learning challenges that I have had, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it only matters if you think that it matters enough to hold you back from something. And I just kind of always look at it like, you know what? It can matter, but it can matter for different reasons. I always see them as springboards, like instead of obstacles that hold me back, but things that can springboard me in a direction that I would really rather go. So, considering that, this comes from an educational design approach called Avid Curriculum, where you basically take a notebook and you make it a little bit of like a pop-up version of it. This style comes from a lot of teachers and administrators and educational psychologists who came together and really researched and found that movement to make a notebook that otherwise would be flat, making it three-dimensional, actually helps to engage the mind and helps thought processes, neuroplasticity and neuroscience to work more efficiently. Some of what I also have learned in teaching is that learning how to engage the left brain or the right brain, which there's a whole like discussion about that, about like really which one is your dominant one, etc. It has to do with, again, neuroscience and neuroplasticity and a great deal of educational research that came from Cornell University. But there's a great deal of just things that inform the reasons why I do things or how I go about going them and doing them. So let's just talk about this left side page first. This is an example of what I have done for my daughter and our homeschool, or just kind of like learning planning, I guess you could say. She has this same setup in her learning notebook that I put together and designed, and she uses the same pages. And what I like to use is I like to use stickers as pictures, so that what I do is I boost her visual literacy, and just her overall understanding. So this is the idea that like the top 3 things that she might do on any given day. And while these might look like very, very simple things, they're not. Some of them are, you know, like research and then write. So a lot of these tasks that you see, they are intended to be kind of layered and like multi-leveled and just things that she can kind of really get into. And there's all sorts of things that we have on here. And this is our week for this week. I'm sorry, our week for this week. Our plans for this week for homeschooling. And in the state of Maryland, and I know in other states as well, there are requirements of keeping documentation for learning. So this is how we document it, and this corresponds with my daughter's planner, or just like learning notebook, which I'm not going to show you that today. I will show it to you though in my next video. This over here is one way that you can do a to-do list. This is washi tape. All of those things are washi tape. And the way that I like to think of doing to-do lists and things is I like to think of them structurally and just visually. So what I like to do sometimes is, and there's a reason why this is taped on there and it's movable here, is at the top of the page I will use stickers that I already have or that I might like kind of cut out, and I will you know, put them down. These are kind of like top priority sorts of things, so it's kind of like tiered, vertical style. And then what I can do is over here, these are full box stickers as they're called in like planner sticker speak. This right here, if I wanted to write notes that were from Friday, then I can write them over here. So I immediately connect those two. Same thing here. Everything is visually connected. I can put an icon sticker or a die cut sticker on those if I wanted to. I could just as well, what I like to do sometimes is if I'm in meetings and things or I'm trying to do things is I will use this a little bit as like the idea of like a sticky note. So I could put sticky notes there or page flags if I wanted to, but I can write notes there and then I can cover that up and have that be just confidential and respected information, but I can still lift it up and do it. But I like to write notes on these, or just easy tasks and things, because that white space around there, it really helps me to visually kind of like think of that as like that's just its own sort of thing. And then I can say I'm just going to focus on like just the blue one or the purple one. So it helps for me when things are colorful, and it helps for me when things are colorful and then they're connected in other ways. So that's a little bit of background of like kind of educational design or just like visual design and how you can connect things. So what I will do is, this is a little bit of like me getting my week ready, okay? I will do this to a page and leave these open, and I sometimes don't actually fill any of these in. There's some people that like to go back and fill them in. Like I could go back with like a Polaroid kind of picture printer that they have out now. Or I could do some memory planning here. I mean, there's lots of things that you could do, but I don't always actually go back and fill things in. Sometimes having an open box, it makes me feel a little bit better because I feel less like I'm trying to be like some sort of a machine. Like, I don't strive for productivity necessarily. I really focus on process. I'm not a machine, you're not a machine, and while productivity can be great, it can also be very draining because it makes me feel like I'm just here to work, and I'm not. I'm not a workhorse, you're not a workhorse, and focusing only on productivity, I found, has been counterproductive to me actually getting things done. It wears me down, it stresses me out, and I've actually found that if I focus more on process and on connectivity and on just one step at a time, I get a great deal more accomplished, I guess you could say, or just my movement forward in whatever direction towards whatever goal that I'm going in. That has helped immensely. I've also found that this applies in the classroom, that when I work with students or I work with like clients, I work as a business mentor sometimes, or I work with bigger companies and doing like people logistics, helping them to harness or just engage their people power, that the more you focus on like people first sort of ideas and less about just like the idea of like, you know, just get it done tasks, that's great. There's a time and a place to like think about just productivity, but that starts to wear people down because people start feeling a little bit less human than what they want to be feeling like. And I know nowadays, I want to be, especially with some of the craziness going on, like, you know what, how about we just try a little bit of tenderness, like that song, and think about things in a different way, just reframe it. So that's a little bit of what it looks like. This right here is a planner clip that I made. Same with this. And what I will do is I will kind of lay out my plans, and then I will take this sort of a sheet and I will adhere it to the page as you see it. And then every single day what I will do is I will go through and I will kind of project what I want to kind of do. And then I can check them off or not check them off. Or I can wait until the end of the day and then I can write on here what items I was able to actually kind of get accomplished. And I kind of like the language they use here, like survive Monday, yes, manage Tuesday, over the hump. And I don't always check things off. This is really more for me to do kind of like list making and for me to do a little bit of an assessment, for me to kind of like get my bearings and say, yes, every single day I did get this done. Like I just have a visual reference point as a little bit of like a debrief for myself. So I can say, I did all of those things, I did this, I did this, I did that. So then I can kind of look back and forth. And since this is attached, it makes it really easy for me to do that. So this is a little bit of an example of DIY planning and how I like to do it. And it's a different sort of a way. Maybe I've never ever seen anybody do planning like this, but I'm assuming it's just because I'm a teacher and an educational designer and all sorts of things, an artist. So I think of ways that planners and planning, different ways that they can happen, that they can come together in order for them to be a part of just a bigger picture, a process, and definitely a picture that is aesthetically pleasing. Because I am very, very affected by color. I don't know what it is. I'm just very affected by anything that affects my senses. So anything that's tactile, like to run your hand over top of that, it's very gratifying. This all has to do with the field of the industry that I work in called user experience design, where it's about making planning, it's about making anything really an experience that is memorable, an experience that has some pleasantness to it, and gets rid of some of the hard edges, just because, oh my goodness, like, you know, what's going on in the world lately leading us up to this time. I mean, there's enough out there that's really harsh and crazy, so why not make planning a more pleasant and like enjoyable and engaging sort of an experience? And that's basically what user experience design is. So pretty cut and dry, and that is my DIY planner, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really, really enjoy sharing with you all of the different ways that I found that have helped me to have planner peace. I've even been thinking about just, I don't know, the barrage of words that have been circulating on Instagram and other places, like the words overlaid over top of pictures that are really positive and encouraging, and I just love that. I think that's great. I think that words are inspiring. They are tools for building. I've even thought about the word planner, which sounds an awful lot like plan her. So when you think of like planner piece, it's like plan her piece. And I thought about how that connects with the fact that planners and planning, it just really, really has a great deal of attraction to women, or just women gravitate towards it. It has a sort of a magnetic quality. I don't know what it is about planner. Maybe it's because it's called Plan Her Piece. Plan Her Piece. I don't know. But in any case, I really hope that you enjoyed seeing this look at my DIY planner. And if you're interested in getting a version of this so that you can kind of build your own planner, then I do have these available as printable pages, like printable inserts, as much as they're going to be available for printed and shipped items from my Etsy shop that I'm going to link in the description bar down below this video. And my goal with doing planning and planners is I just wanted to be able to make planning affordable and beautiful and engaging and interesting for anybody who wants to do planning. There are so many different types of planning systems and planner pages and just, I mean, the planner market has truly exploded lately, and I think that that's awesome, because I've just been seeing all different ways and styles and approaches, and I don't know, I guess my perspective is, as long as you're planning, then who really cares where it comes from? I'm a teacher, so I know that feedback is really, really important, and I'm also a working artist and a designer, and so, and then I work in marketing, so I'm very aware of the fact that there's a lot of kind of like competing planners or ideas out there, and my thought is, why not just, like, I could just as well design something that goes with anything. Like the inserts that I showed you in here, you could use these alongside of other things that you already like and use. Like this is the same dimensions as an Erin Condren or a Happy Planner, so these are like supplemental pages. And I appreciate like the black and white, kind of the neutral sort of design, but I also really like things that are pretty to look at, like aesthetically pleasing, which I think that these are, or at least I work really hard to make them look aesthetically pleasing. I guess you could say I'm pretty advanced. I mean, I used to teach graphic design and visual art design on a lot of different digital platforms. So I'm pretty fluent at how to do really good, strong visual design. I'm also very much a proponent of like that feedback is really important. So these designs that I showed you of these planner inserts and what I just use is they go through a great deal of trial and error. I am committed to designing things that are really usable, really user-friendly. I like to design things once, right, well, and very, very good. Like, I like good design. My goal with any design or any piece of artwork that I ever do, those are some pieces of artwork up there. Artwork is very important to me. Aesthetics are super important to me, and good design. We have a saying in my house, do it right or do it twice. And I don't like doing things twice. I feel like it's not the best use of time. Like, I'd rather do other stuff. So, for that reason, that's why you might not see some of what I might share on my personal Instagram, it's called Android Royalty, or my planner Instagram, which is called Dearest Darling. You might not see those come out in my shop so readily. It's because I'm trying to make sure that they are as impeccably designed and as easy to use and as intuitively designed for you to use. So that's the same principle that the Apple brand actually uses when they go through and they like make sure that they have products that you're going to use and it's going to work for you. I want something that promotes organic sort of motion and movement and process in your life, in your planning. And that's why I just really kind of take my time with it. My work goes through a great deal of critiques and feedback with people who are industry professionals. And a lot of these inserts that you have seen, they have been in kind of like the design process for upwards of a year. And some people say, oh, well, that's a really long time. But if you know anything about some of the really, really major and innovative companies out there, like the Apple brand or like Pixar or Disney, then the amount of time that it takes for something to go through the process it needs to in order for it to be absolutely impeccably done and beautifully done and, you know, done once, so it doesn't have to be done at all. That's kind of like what I try to do in any of the design work that I ever try and do. So, and that comes from me being in the business for, well, I'm 37 years old, and me working for really big name companies, and me just knowing that if I want to do a lot of things in my life, which I do and I have, then I like doing them to a really high level of, I don't know, goodness, I guess you could say. I don't know. So that's it for this video. If you are interested in the inserts that I showed you that I like to use, and you want to put together your own planner, then I do complimentary kind of planner design or planner consult. I also do individualized custom planner designs. I've recently had people reach out to me on the different social media accounts that I have asking me to do custom planner design for them, which is really exciting because I consider planner inserts and planner design to be a work of art. And I am very, very committed to doing things so that a person's planner, it looks as like personally and beautifully unique as they are, and their planning style. So what I will usually do if someone approaches me for like custom planner design, and I mean like it's truly custom, even down to like graphic elements and things, and I help them pick out color palettes, almost like doing interior design. Like I guess I like the planner design. I take the same approach as like an interior designer would. So it's very like white glove kind of service, and I go through a diagnostics interview because I have my master's in education, so I can help people identify what their learning style is. And then what I do is I merge that with what I do with the planner design. So, and I usually always have inserts in my archives that would be perfectly suitable because I've designed a lot of them at this point. But if I don't, then what I will do sometimes is just design from scratch. It's really not hard for me to do that just because I'm an industry professional, but yeah, I kind of do the full process with someone or help someone to start the process in order for them to be afforded greater planner peace. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, because in the next one I'm actually going to show you a really, really special project that I've been working on for well more than a year and a half. And it's gone through a great deal of process, and it's truly a labor of love, but it's something that is specifically for, I guess you could say like mini planners or like kids. But so that's what's coming up, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been trying to do like a video a day, just because as it stands, I'm a little bit between projects, just kind of like professionally. I mean, I do have projects, but it's like a lot of smaller things, but doing these videos, I think that they're really fun to do, and I know people have been receptive to them because people have been reaching out to me a lot more, and I've been able to connect with people more, and that's exciting to me. So I'm just trying to be a more active member of the planner community and walk alongside you as a teacher, planner mentor, I don't know. And so, yeah, that's why I like to do these kind of every day if I can. So, thanks for watching this video. If you would like to stay connected with me, then all of my contact information is linked in the description bar. Please also leave me any questions or comments if you have video requests in the comments, and I will definitely try and get back to you on them. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye! If you would like to see a sneak peek of what I kind of hinted at that's going to be in the next video, then you should go and check out my Periscope that I just did earlier today. It's a little bit of, I guess, an abbreviated view of all the DIY planners I have, but towards the end is what I kind of hinted at that's a little bit of like my creative project. My username on Periscope is Royalty Renaissance, and I've left the Periscope up there so that people can watch it. So I'll leave all the information in the down bar. See you next time.